Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by a very happy Bernardini. How you doing, mate?
Glorious, mate. It's always nice. I tell you what, I was worried because I was so calm yesterday. I was so calm before the game. I've never been that calm in my life. I don't think. I was just, and even at half time, I was still calm, and it was worrying because I thought, well, is this a good sign? Is it a bad sign? But hey, it didn't matter, did it?
I was calm because I had my red and black City shirt on, and I said, "That's my lucky shirt. It's my lucky shirt." Half time, I was thinking, "It's not my lucky shirt."
It's coming off.
Well, no, I want to look. Obviously, this is the day after review shot.
One for the ladies, shirt pulling off in the stand, bare chested,
flabby bellied. Well, there's a fella next to me. He said he was going to kiss me if we scored a third goal. I said, I'm worried what you're going to do if we score 5. but look, it's the day after review show. City beat Man United 3-1. We're going to stay positive in this show because there's lots of positives. But I'm going to start you off. How crap was Doku?
Let's start with the negative. Yeah, Well, I mean, obviously, we sort of, when we came on for the preview, we come up with a team, and then when I sat down and did my Pepsi 11, I picked a slightly different team, and I thought, well, we had to have Doku because we just have to have that sort of width. We have that, otherwise it might all be a bit iffy. And I thought all Doku has to do is get the ball, and Pep tells him, if you can go at play, go on. If you don't, circulate the ball. But he just did his usual, which was literally not knowing what the hell he was going to do, basically. And when he did get in a good position, he fluffed it. So I think he'll be a bench player from now on. I can't see him starting many games after what we've seen because he just needs that little bit more City-fying, doesn't he? He's not City-fying.
he's not had the creativity taken out of him yet by Pep. The problem with Doku, we'll start. I was only joking when I said his name first, but we'll talk about him because it is important.
Because I rated him 5 out of 10. He was our lowest rated player, and obviously, I don't like to agree with Mr. Bukowski, but he did the same.
The thing with Doku is
he did some okay things, actually. When I watched the replay, obviously, when you're there, you don't particularly notice. He did some nice little touches, and that's when he was at his best, when he just got it. And rather than try and take someone on, he was laying it off to people, and that's what Jack Grealish does. And it's fine.
Yeah. I said about must have been 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, that Doku was making right decisions. Now, I said as well at the time, you can go back and check, not you, but anybody who wants to say, oh, no, you didn't, go and check the receipts. I said he's making a lot of right decisions, which is great, but you don't know whether he's just lucky at the moment or whatever. You don't know. He was going through a very good phase, but stats don't lie. All right, he missed about 3 or 4 weeks, whatever, with injury, but he hasn't scored a goal or assisted since a 6-1 against Bournemouth, where he scored 1 and assisted with 4. He's done. And he's not done well since. He's losing the ball far too easily, far too often. He's not taking his man on. He's not doing the business in the final third. And I said this before the game, and I'm sure I said last week, I would have probably gone for Núñez or Kovacic. I think you were going for Kovacic. I was going for Núñez because I said the thing I like about Núñez is he shows he's got a bit of creativity. He can take men on. He's got a bit of pace. He can do the box-to-box stuff. And he doesn't lose the ball too often. And for me, he's absolutely bang in the middle of Doku and Grealish. Grealish doesn't lose the ball, but doesn't do much with it. But Doku does lose the ball, but he's dangerous. And I think Núñez fits in between the two. So while Grealish is out, and we'll do a preview of Copenhagen later in another video, but I think Núñez and Kovacic will be in for the game against Copenhagen. So I think he's had his chance. And you're right, Pep, like he did last season, he settles on an 11 and he stays with it. And I think Doku isn't part of that 11. And it's up to, right now, I think it's up to Oscar Bob, Kovacic, Núñez, and when he's back, Grealish to fight for that spot ahead of Doku. I hate it. It's like, how can you say Oscar Bob ahead of Doku? But I just think you know what you're going to get with Oscar Bob. And Doku, he lost the ball so often, it was very, very frustrating. So, negative aside, let's look at the positives. Where else can I start? But fabulous Phil. Another incredible performance. And he's putting in a lot of good performances. The Brentford one, when he's was not the no, I'll go back a bit. The game he scored the hat-trick. Which one was that? That was I forgot now. Was that no? It was Brentford away, wasn't it? So the Brentford away he scored the hat-trick. So there was that game. He's scoring goals. He's got 18 goals this season. It's his highest number of goals in a season. He's got 10 assists in all competitions already. He's putting in the stats. The numbers are there. But your eyes tell you how good he is on that pitch, and what difference he makes to us, and the flexibility he shows that, he was on the right, he was on the left, he's chasing back, he was doing everything. I mean, if you didn't give him a 9.5 out of 10, I don't know what you give him, I haven't seen your video, then I'd be disappointed in you. What did you give him out of 10?
9.
Oh, what did he do wrong? What else did he need to get a 10?
Only because I think he was wasted at times. I thought he was wasted at times, certainly in the first half. I thought he was really stuck out on the wing. He didn't really come in that much. As soon as he started coming in central, that's when he caused palpitations in United's team. But when Pep had him sat outside on the wing, he just wasn't effective in that first half.
He wasn't as effective.
Which a lot of the team weren't the first half, of course. But that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Utilised properly.
That's Pep's fault. It's not Foden's fault.
No, but I can only mark him on what he did, and obviously what he did. You can't give him a 10 or a 9.5 because he wasn't effective for a chunk of the game. Whether he was playing to instructions or not, he still marks on what he does.
Yeah, that's Pep's fault.
Anyway, it's just a score. It doesn't matter, mate, does it? Give him 12 out of 10. It doesn't matter. He was brilliant. Simple as.
Yeah. Should England build their team around Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham?
Well, I think soon as Southgate. Trouble is with Southgate, I think I think we're doing a little special on this, aren't we? But as far as Southgate's concerned, he just needs to take his head from up his backside and actually realise what he's got with that England team. But will he? I'm not too sure.
We'll do that another time. But but Phil should be central to England as he's central to City, because
his first name on the team sheet for City and England.
Yeah, no, absolutely, certainly for City. We look at a few the way we played. I think we started really well. I was really positive because saying to the fellow next to me in the stands, I said, we always play slowly and we started off so quickly. And I said, I don't understand why when we show what we can do. And I said to him, we can score 3 goals in half an hour. Okay, we did in the second half. So we can score 3 goals in half an hour. When we go behind and go at teams, we absolutely go at them and we show what we can do. And I said, what puzzles me is, why don't we do that from the start of the game? I understand some of it, because as teams get tired in the second half, their concentration goes, they lose a little bit of energy, mental and physical, and we can take them to task. I think that happened. Yes,
I think that definitely happened yesterday. Because, as I said, as soon as we said in the preview, if we get a goal ahead, etc., or get a goal, their heads will drop. They'll lose that cohesive, and we'll go on from there. It took us to the second half to do that.
Yeah, so I give Rashford his due. Yeah. No, come on, mate.
It was a cracking goal, but what else? What the other things he did when Walker sort of touched him and he fell over? What was all that about?
Well, what I'm going to say is a broken clock is still right twice a day. So Rashford.
Oh, brilliant goal! Stunning goal, but after that, it was just a waste of space.
I think we were poor to let that ball go from the keeper, land with Fernandez.
Was it Walker was going for the offside, wasn't he? So he slowed down. If you notice, he had his arm in the air for offside. So he wasn't thinking about playing to the whistle. He was doing his normal idiot stuff, which he had a good game, Walker. But that was a poor thing. And of course, it was played on by Aki, wasn't he, over the other side? So Walker probably didn't see him, but it wasn't Aki's fault particularly. No. Shouldn't have happened.
But the thing is, a few times we saw our players raising their hands, waiting for a couple of times they didn't come. Yeah. You've got to.
Does it matter? I mean, why do it? We've got VAR anyway now, so why even bother? Just play on.
And if it's tight, the linesman isn't going to raise his flag if it's tight. So
you're not going to influence unless you're trying to influence a lino, of course.
You can't. But you can't influence them because if it's tight, in the old days, you could influence them if it was tight. If it's tight now, they keep the flags down. It has to be like 2 or 3 yards. And I'll be honest, you can't influence.
We're going to get the same next week. We're going to get the same at Anfield because that's how they play their football.
So we've got to. I don't know how look, the guys have grown up by putting their hands up for offside, but we'll see over the next few years, people won't do that now.
Well, fine them. I mean, fine Walker his week's wages. Say, right, next time you do it, mate, push play to the whistle. Get on with it. If you do it again, I'm going to fine you a week's wages. Just tell me, I'd be strict.
No. But mate, you've got to do something, and that's something. So otherwise, because they keep doing it, we did it 2 or 3 times on Sunday. So they've got to make a change.
But if I was the man, I'd say, look, I love you boys, but I'm sorry, don't do it. And if you do, you'll get punished. But I love you to bits. But I'm sorry, that's the rules.
Yeah. A few bits and pieces from that game. Haaland was crap. Let's be honest.
That miss. I mean, obviously we were in the South Stand, weren't we? So we didn't get the greatest view. But even from there, I thought, why is he not putting his head on it? Why is he not a diving header is just as spectacular as a fancy leg in the air. It's just as good looking. So I know he likes to score brilliant goals, but come on, Erling, just put your head on it, mate. It would have looked good because you could have dove and it would have looked fantastic. Yeah. That was poor, especially at 1-0 down. Half time, crucial time. Having said that, he scored the third one, perhaps at a crucial time. They didn't look as though they were going to score any 2-1, but yeah, wrong. It was poor, very poor.
The thing I said, and I said this in my video yesterday, I said after the Luton game, don't get carried away. He scored 5 goals, but he missed a couple of other chances, and the goalkeeper should have saved a couple of 3 goals is still great, but don't get carried away because scoring 5 against Luton. It doesn't matter in a game that they'd set up for us with the way they played. It's in the big games, it's at the crucial times that you need to score. And he needed to score. If we scored before half time, I think we run right with potential in the second half. One thing I did notice, and the crowd were up for this game, but after we scored that first goal, I felt the same or a similar feeling as I did when we were playing Villa. Last game of the season, we were 2-0 down a couple of years ago. I watched that game actually the day before, watched the last 15 minutes of that. And I felt the same feeling that it was inevitable. We were going to score again. We were going to win the game. But the crowd, the atmosphere after that first goal, I think was second to none. It was, we were really, people were jumping up and down in the stands. The noise was fantastic. It's a shame we can't put that noise in at the start of a game because that would scare teams, But what did you think of the atmosphere during the game?
A little bit subdued, mate, to be honest with you. First, certainly, it wasn't as the animosity didn't seem to be there. A bit of course, a lot of banter, of course, there always will be, but I think we then take an 8-minute lead as well. I think it subdued the City fans a little bit. But having said that, they weren't exactly bouncing. They weren't exactly bouncing. They're not. I watched that Forest game, and I've watched the Wigan game, a bit of the Wigan game the other week in the FA Cup, and I think United fans are usually pretty good away from home, especially when they're winning. But for some reason, they must obviously the mix of fans they get for these games who get these tickets. I'm never impressed with United fans at our place. They're just. They never seem to be that up for it as far as loud is concerned. And they sung the songs, but you could hardly hear them above the hubbub. Even though City fans are quiet, there's still enough noise going on to drown out what they were doing.
I think City fans were a bit quiet because obviously they scored after 8 minutes and we weren't showing enough after that, because they had a few chances.
And of course, we switched ends. So, of course, in the first half, we weren't reacting to what was going up the other end, which I like that. I like the fact we had to switch ends because that means United are thinking tactically, let's mix it up. As I think Chelsea did it, didn't they, to us a few weeks ago? Chelsea or Everton, I can't remember which one it was, made us switch ends, won the toss. And that's right. I think that's right. I think the away captain should do that. I think that's spot on. Yeah. And of course, we're happy because they're shooting up to our end in the second half. And you think of the Villa game where you just mentioned there, there is an extra atmosphere. But of course, the players don't seem to like doing that. But hey, it works again. So let's hope the players might think, hey, we might do this more regular now.
Last thing I'm going to say, United. We talked about the fans, so I'm going to talk about them. We've seen a few pictures online. And you very disgracefully said that one of the fellas, and the Men in Black United fans look like me. But what did you think of their fans generally? Because before the game, there was a few, guys with the chest
Don't
side.
change, mate, do they? They don't change. They're never going to change. I mean, my Sharon, she's got a friend called, I won't call her name, won't upset her, but she chats to her every night. She's a United fan, but she's a typical United fan. And I come in last night, she was on the phone to me, and so I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice and say, oh well, that's how it is. And she's like, oh, crawl under your rock and all. And it's just the arrogance of United. Oh, we'll be, you were crap. You'll be crap again one day. And all. I thought I just wanted to talk, just say, had a good first half and be constructive, but you can't do that with United fans. I'm sorry, and it just doesn't work. And they never changed. They never changed since I was going in the 60s and 70s, mate. Yeah. They were arrogant and horrible then. They're probably more arrogant and horrible because there's probably a few more of them now than there was then. Yeah. Now, so my lad, I think I've told you, my lad hates them. He doesn't want them in our ground. He doesn't really want to look at them in the stand. He says they've no right to be in my ground. Yet all his mates are United fans, but he just doesn't like seeing them, and I feel the same.
What do you think about their Men in Black picture?
Well, that was taken yesterday. That was posted by, and obviously a United account. I've not looked at the account to see if it's legit or anything, but and he was obviously claiming that this is how it should always be. United fans going to football matches, but they're just horrible. I mean, I don't know. They're just, if you're a nice person, a United fan, do you cringe? Obviously, surely they cringe sometimes. Yeah. I mean, we have odd idiots, of course we do, but not to the extent United, the Liverpools have.
Yeah,
it's.
I mean, we've got to have some balance. There are a few idiot City fans, but a lot more idiot United fans. A lot more
that attitude. It's just, I wouldn't. I mean, I've seen videos of, and I've been in with United fans, many moons ago, and there's just an edge to them that we don't. You've been to cup finals, haven't we? Where there's been that animosity, and it's just that edge. There's no humour. There's no humour in it. There's no bit of banter. It's just nasty, and it always has. It always has been, mate, since the 60s, 70s when I was going. It's never changed.
And how quickly did they leave?
Well, they're great. I mean, all right, they'll post probably pictures of having a few empty seats against Copenhagen, probably stuff like that. Yeah. All you have to do is post those pictures of them at our ground. It doesn't matter whether it's the 95th minute or the 5th minute. That's empty. just the fans they are, and you don't stay and support your team. All right, we've not had many options lately where we've been tested in that way, have we, over the recent years, of course. But I think we've proved over years before that how loyal, the loyalty. And even if we perhaps had a few empty seats, at least the guys there will hopefully stay as long. All right, we do get. I can't say that at the edge because everyone, it's like 80 minutes, people start leaving, but. When your team needs you, that's when you have to be there. And for them United players to come and clap the fans at the end, I mean, how pathetic must that?
There were more United players clapping the fans, and there were fans clapping.
More fans. There's more players on the pitch, and there was fans left in the stand, and it's embarrassing, mate. It really is. I mean, if they got all right, they have to get the trains home to London. We joke about that, don't we? It is embarrassing. It is for a fan base like that. And a guy, I've got a lad at work. He's fine. He's not a bad United fan, but he went to Wigan the other week in the FA Cup. And literally, I think there was double in that end because they're all jibbing in. They're all sneaking in. So they had one ticket. There was, a bit like the Scousers. They're trying to sneak in for nothing, and that's what United had. And they were doing that. He was telling me he was quite, not proud of it, but he's saying, obviously it was packed, more packed. I don't know if you watched the game, but their end was absolutely chocolate. It was like, it was a standing section. There was that many in it, because obviously for every guy who had a ticket, someone was jibbing in with it and they were getting in dead easy. So that's just the sort of level you get with United. There are nice United fans, I'm sure there are, but I don't know many. I know one or two. But I'd be embarrassed, mate. I'm embarrassed if a City fan does something horrible. Of course I am, but for the numbers involved and the loyalty, I'm embarrassed for them, really.
Here's another quick question. Have you ever left an away game early?
Yeah. Yeah, I have, because I can give you one classic, and I think the only one I've left early, and I'll give you a classic example was the Dennis Law back heel, because our lives are at stake. To be honest with you, so that's why we left early. We were literally just got out, about 12 of us, only kids, 14, and it was getting a bit Larry at the end, and we just said, "Oh, should we go?" It was about 5 minutes to go, of course, just before Dennis Law scored. He said, "Come on, let's get out of here while we can." And that was the attitude then. That was the 70s, but obviously in recent times, no. But in the 70s, Goodison Park, I left there early once, I remember, because I was absolutely scared to death.
I think that's different.
That's how it was. But in this day and age, I've never left. Gillingham 99, my lad wanted to leave. We're not going anyway, mate. But no, that wasn't an away game. But
it's the end. You got to.
What's the point? What's the point? You've got a coach to get. You're not going to go till everyone's back anyway. So what's the point of going early?
I don't think I've certainly not left an away game early. I left one game early in my life. One game.
Yeah, no, the 11-12 on it.
No. that was on telly. I wasn't there. I turned that off.
I think you told me this. I know it's a big game on it.
Yeah. Liverpool Champions League. So they'd scored the second goal at our place, and my mate Den, he said, I must have got him a ticket. That I suspect, because he was sat with me. He said, "Oh, let's do one," and I never, but we weren't going to come back, and I wasn't enjoying the game, and we got a few.
I've given up paper jobs because you expected me to leave early from a match, and I'm not leaving early, mate. I'm staying till the end. I've give up jobs for the fact of making sure I didn't have to leave early. I mean, on Wednesday night, I've got to work Thursday. I've got to be up 2 o'clock Thursday morning. I'm not going to leave early. I'll get in and just doze in front of the telly till I have to go to work. That's just how it is.
We did get some abuse when we left. Anyway, guys, that's our day after review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Bernard, and thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you around Blues.